Am I the a-hole for allowing the kids to play in my backyard? Last month, I was outside talking to my neighbor, Bill, about the pressure washing service he used to clean the outside of his home. I noticed his kids playing soccer in the cul-de-sac area. It technically is a street, but it is also a blacktop, and his youngest fell and scraped her knee. Bill moved here about a year ago. I've lived here for 15 plus years. He said that he's thinking about putting a fence up in the backyard so his kids could finally play in the yard. I asked what did he mean by that, and he mentioned his other neighbor, Alex, was known to yell at Bill's kids if the ball or toy they were playing with ended up in his yard. Alex doesn't have a fence. Actually, none of the houses near Bill's house have a fence. It is just one long stretch of backyards connected together. I asked him if his kids were trampling on any flowers or in his garden, and he said no. Alex yells if they cross the boundary line about stepping on his grass and going on his property. He said Alex said it is an understanding that all the neighbors have: do not touch other people's lawns. These aren't prize-winning lawns. These are just regular backyards with dandelions and dry spots. I told Bill that if his kids wanted to, they could play towards my side of the connecting yards. I don't mind if their ball or whatever goes in my yard. The next day, Bill's kids were playing in the backyard, and his kids were honestly a little terrified of crossing the imaginary line that they sprinted when their frisbee ended up on my lawn. I told them it was okay. They don't have to be scared. I'm not like Alex. Later on, I saw Alex at the grocery store and he confronted me about letting the kids play in my yard. He said now he feels pressured to let Bill's kids play in his backyard because I let them play in mine. I asked him if Bill said anything, and he said no, but the pressure is there because I went against the neighborhood agreement. I never heard of the neighborhood agreement. I told him that lawns and grass are meant to be stepped on and that he should lighten up a little bit about the occasional trespasser on his lawn to retrieve a ball or frisbee. He said that he doesn't want to get sued because a kid twisted an ankle while getting a ball on his lawn. I told him to lighten up and it isn't that big of a deal. He called me an a-hole because now he looks like the bad guy even though he's just protecting his property. My friends are mostly on my side, but the ones on Alex's are thinking about the potential lawsuits if a kid gets hurt while on my lawn. So am I the a-hole for allowing the kids to play in my backyard?
Here are the top comments.
Not the a-hole. You're a kind neighbor and willing to accept the risk of a child getting hurt on your property. Kids are kids and they're not being destructive, and you are allowing it to prevent them from getting hurt in the street. Alex doesn't want to take that risk and he's well within his rights to. However, his overreaction and attacking you about it makes him the a-hole.
Not the a-hole. Alex feels bad because he's been an a-hole and now sees that it costs nothing to be kind and has guilt. My response to him would have been, just because I'm okay with it doesn't mean you have to be. It's my yard, and if they want to play there, I'm okay with it.